In the video I made previously about DuckLake, I had to install DuckDB, and I was working through the CLI tool for DuckLake and checking it out. It was really fun. It was nice. In the comments, though, someone brought up the question, have you done DuckDB UI? I remember reading about DuckDB UI. I remember people really liking it. And from what I understand, it's a coordinated effort between DuckDB itself and Motherduck, the data warehouse platform leveraging DuckDB. And I know a couple things about it, so I'm pretty sure this is about launching a Motherduck instance locally in your browser and being able to use, I think, a lot of the features that a simplified Motherduck is. I don't know for sure. So I'm here at the DuckDB UI extension page on the DuckDB documentation. I have DuckDB installed on my system. I am not totally sure if I need anything else installed. So the extension page is telling me the UI extension adds a user interface for your local DuckDB instance, right? And it's maintained by Motherduck. Okay. Requirements is in an environment with a browser, any DuckDB client except the WASM, that or later. Okay, so I have DuckDB installed. So I think I'm just going to copy this and go into the command line. Let's bring up cursor. Let's run it. What happens here? Okay, that was immediate. Okay, that was very fast. I wasn't actually expecting it to go that quickly. Welcome to DuckDB UI, made with love by Motherduck. So the DuckDB UI is an interactive workspace for ad hoc querying and data exploration with DuckDB. Yeah, I think this is going to be nice. It's like ultra DuckDB. I would say Motherduck and DuckDB seem to be the most coupled in this data space for DuckDB specifically. Motherduck was, I feel like, kind of first to the party, and DuckDB and Motherduck are very, very tight knit in that way. All right. So far, I've put one thing into cursor and it launched the application. And it looks like from here, we just get started. Show me the basics. Okay, cool. Let's show me the basics. Okay, DuckDB UI basics. All right. Okay, so here we're getting in kind of the syntax. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's do the syntax of DuckDB UI. Okay, so yeah, running the cell. Let's just run the cell here. And the cell successfully ran, but did not return a result set. So it's just saying if it exists in memory or not. And so the notebook demonstrates the fundamental features of DuckDB UI. In memory, database named memory. If you start DuckDB without a database, this file should already, if you started DuckDB without a database file, this should already exist. If not, the following command will create it. So there's not obviously going to be any result set returned because they're just creating the DuckDB database in memory. So it's attached. Attached was also how we created DuckLake as well. So good use of consistent semantics across the board. Obviously for DuckDB, I wouldn't expect anything less. Okay, so let's load data. We can create or replace a table from a blob on DuckDB.org Parquet file we're going to bring in. So we're gonna download that, it looks like. Let's create a table from an external file for efficient querying. Yeah, when you execute this query, the trains table will appear in the memory database under attached database list. Okay. Let's create a table from an external file. What's happening right here is you're creating or replacing a table from this available Parquet file on a URL, but you're not downloading the Parquet file. It's grabbing it in chunks and then it's bringing it through the network, which is much more efficient and fast, and then making your DuckDB database here. Let's kind of see how fast that is. Let's run this cell. Okay, that was fast, and then they just told us a row count. One row returned in 899 milliseconds. Okay. In DuckDB, writing from table is equivalent to writing select all. Yeah, I noticed that when I was doing the DuckLake, it was just a from, and I was sort of taken back. I actually wish that standard SQL would maybe just update that and just say, hey, from this, because it does actually get quite annoying to always be writing select all. You're not always writing select all. Obviously, that's a no-no in database pipelines kind of further upstream. But when you're in analytical data sets, when you're in these last mile ETL data sets where they've already been munged and cleaned, they're smaller, the number of columns have been reduced to probably what you need for your analytical workloads, it's going to be a lot safer to do a select all for that. But yeah, DuckDB lets you just write from, which is convenient. I am trying to see I'm trying to understand exactly what happened here. So one row is returned, and this row is just a count of the rows. Is it a count of the rows? Click on the table name to view a summary. It created the table over here. That's nice. So we have a similar UI, kind of like BigQuery, a tree, a folder tree here. And so in memory, there is a main branch, I'm assuming. That's kind of what the icon looks like. And within that is trains. Right, so 381,000 estimated rows and 8 columns. So that is telling us the number of rows it sees. Clicking on it gives a very nice little breakdown detail here, service ID, data type. The white space, these details, RIL has something similar in the way it's handling its UI layout. So, there's certainly some consistency happening here across these tools, and users want consistency anyways. I kind of noted at the end of the RIL video that, look, I think making these kind of UIs, especially in the age of AI, is going to get easier and easier. And the question is going to be just what works best within your organization. And, RIL might end up being the best for you because it has maybe a deeper breadth of certain types of features that fits within your org better. A DuckDB UI might work better because, hey, we use DuckDB already. All the data engineers and the analyst team like it, and they really like having this type of interface here. So we're kind of moving, I think, into the taste era of all these tools. And then obviously if you're on GCP or Databricks or Azure, AWS, Snowflake, any of those, there's other things happening on those other platforms you might want. Snowflake has an enterprise level streamlet now, from what I understand. I'd like to probably take a look at that and check that out. But getting back to DuckDB UI, I so far have not been super annoyed by running these cells in these notebooks, but this is pretty boilerplate stuff that you're just kind of running and creating the table. But all that being said, creating tables, creating this thing in memory, that's where it should kind of sit maybe in a cell and just be ready to be ran when needed. Let's keep going. Explore column diagnostics. Yes, I want to do that. When running a query, your results will appear below the editor, and column diagnostics will appear on the right panel over here, providing an overview of your data without requiring additional queries. That felt like a very long-winded way to say that when you do a select all on your table, the info is going to show up on the right side. Let's run it. Okay, so we get a little preview here, which is standard, although, my goodness, they got all the rows in here? Oh man, yeah, they just said, you know what, we're bringing all the rows into one shot. No, it's only about a third. Yeah, there's 380,000. That's not all of them. Pretty good chunk. Gives you a download option right here. Ooh, a couple of, yes, thank you, DuckDB, Motherduck, DuckDB UI. Thank you for giving options for how to download. Finally, people are getting it. There's options for what to upload. Hey, you might want a Parquet. You might want a CSV. I have to tell this to tools all the time. I do give input to other startups, and sometimes I'll get tools sent to me and they'll say, oh, here's a BI tool, and I'll use it. And the only option they'll have for data upload is a CSV. And I'll tell them, hey, I don't even use CSVs. I use Parquets or JSONs or maybe Arrow files. So that's a savvy move. A TSV, that is kind of random, although tab separated. TSV I remember from more of my R days. I guess I don't feel like I see it as much, but comma separated for sure. Parquet and JSON, good ideas to be able to download. That's nice. I need to check to see if Streamlit has that option. They have a CSV download, but maybe they'll let you do multiple. Or copy the whole thing to the clipboard. What happens if I copy this whole thing to a clipboard? Oh! Okay, the entire thing was copied to a clipboard as what? What was it copied to a clipboard as? Was it, wait, what? Okay, you copied all the rows to the clipboard. What do hold on, I need to go over to Cursor real quick and see what that actually looks like. What happens if I just control? Okay, okay, wow, you guys. What? So the whole thing's right here. Is it just a string? Yeah, it is, huh? It's kind of, wow. Okay. Super interesting. You know what? Part of me wants to know if I could take this and plug that into ChatGPT and let it even work and look at it. Ooh, I kind of want to do that. I'll try that in another video, I think. I just want to know. Anyways, the ability to copy that entire thing as a string and then paste it somewhere is pretty funny. That's pretty interesting. The details are over here with names and whatnot, arrival time. This looks extremely similar to what's here. So I don't know. That's a little redundant, but I guess we can have some different, ways to organize it here. So I'm not totally sure what's the difference here, other than slightly different UI selections. This is probably just a quick view if you want to go through the tables, and then the actual output will be over here. So I don't know, a little redundancy, but it makes sense. I'm not saying that's not a cool idea. That's a cool idea to have. Checking out this data is nice. Okay, let's go down to the next one. So working with files. The DuckDB UI can read and write files just like in other clients. This example demonstrates exporting data to a CSV file and then querying that same file. Yeah, this is, before I even run this, this is why I really like working locally. So I have an open source IDE called Mako Code, which I have been putting the link to in the description. And it's specifically built around polars. So I just stick with it the same way that, DuckDB and Motherduck are sticking with DuckDB as their in-memory. I like polars for analysis and code. And so I made Mako data to just function with polars, but it is locally launched for now. You could put it up into any other platform if you wanted to and run it. But when you run it locally, it is real convenient because you're saving things as, say, a Parquet, and then you're reading those Parquets again very quick right in your local storage. And that's a really fast turnaround time. That's, that you're hitting local compute and local storage, so you don't have any network issues to worry about. You don't have any lag. It's just fast. Here, DuckDB lets you read and write files just like in other clients, and then you can export the data to a CSV file and then query from that same file. So it's a copy from trains to a local. So this would be copying a table to another table. You'd be in BigQuery, you'd be copying this as a new table somewhere else up in the cloud, but here it's just going to be locally as a CSV. And it looks like you can pick CSV. Could I change this to Parquet, and would that be a Parquet? Probably, but we'll leave it as CSV for now. And then you just do a from select all, and now you're querying from the file directly. So there is the actual in-memory database that DuckDB has created so far at the top. And then we made a table within that, which again, it's its own structure, that DuckDB in-memory database. But then what they're saying is, oh no, you can actually work with files themselves. So you can copy from that DuckDB trains table, and then you can just send that thing actually as a CSV and then just read it directly from the CSV. And that kind of, it's not it's not like a polyglot, because that means different language. That means like multiple languages can all just be ran. But what it's doing is it's like a polyfile reading format, DuckDB. It says, hey, you can throw a CSV at us. You can throw a Parquet at us. You can throw probably a JSON at us. And we're just going to, it's the same thing each time. We're just going to read it like it's the same thing each time. And obviously that's very convenient. So if I run this, same thing. We got the information over here. We've got the data right here, and download. I am going to go ahead and jump off the path real quick, and I'm going to try Parquet because I want to see if that works. I want to know if we can just do it. Well, I take that back. No, you're copying the table to it. Yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, it goes. Go. Boom, it worked. This is cool. So this is really awesome. You're not worrying about the type of file here, essentially. If you're coming from a DuckDB table, you can spit it as something else and then read it from there. And that's real nice, because one of the things about the DuckDB in-memory database specifically I wondered about was like, well, what if I don't want to work just specifically with this structure, this DuckDB table structure? Like, what if I just want to use Parquets? I've read multiple times about how DuckDB is great to read directly from Parquets, but this is really nice, and I like it a lot, and really good. Big props to that landing page, that first initial page that showed up, which was a big get started button. Really, really love that. For me, because I had never used it before, I mean, look what I just did. And look where I'm at, and all the things that I've said, oh, I get how I could use that. I get how I could do that. That's great. And so I guess from here, you're sort of in a sketchpad area. All right, if I click on this, so the notebook, so I'm in a notebook. I could maybe create a new notebook. Yep. And it'll be, Billy Hoyt's notebook. That's all handled. So Trains is still the only attached database. I'll work with Trains. So again, see, I don't even know if I remember what the exact, let's get back to the basics here. So when I'm doing from, do I need to, nope, okay. Once it's in memory, I'm just doing it. I will say, huge plus here that all you have to write is just Trains. In BigQuery, it drives me crazy that I have to reference the entire location URL. I wish BigQuery would fix that. Anyways, I'm going to go back to this, so I can go from Trains. That is fundamentally more convenient. Boom. Ooh, yeah. So anyways, I don't know if you just saw what I did right there, but my muscle memory always wants to use Command Enter as a way to run a cell or run a UI with code. And so again, BigQuery is what I use the most, and that's what I just did, and it ran it. Boom, ran it. I tried that in real, and at least the SQL I went to in real data, and it didn't do that. And I was like, maybe I'm not doing it right. But DuckDB UI seems to say, yes, Hoyt, you're in the right place if that's what you want to do to run your SQL. So thank you. From Trains does that. Great. Then let's just try a couple things. So, okay, this is still from Trains. We will just do some very basic stuff. Then I'm just gonna, I think DuckDB uses sort of your standard Postgres style SQL. I'm pretty sure. Let's see if it does. Okay, so let's pick something. Do we have? Yes, we have. Good. Common name completion. Also something BigQuery needs to get. It used to be good and then it fell off. So when I put in a T, we've got type, title, train number. So you've got a couple things going on here. You've got you've got the column names. So if I hit train number, I'm just going to run that, and there's the distinct train numbers. I'm going, okay, good. I can cancel that all out. Good. It's good. All of my muscle memory fast keyboard shortcuts are all working. Thank you, DuckDB UI. Very good. Oh boy. that entire experience of going through my muscle memory keyboard shortcuts made things feel really good. I just got that moment right there. Okay. I don't know what that was I just did. Anyways, let's do a little more analysis here. So we've got departure times, and that's a timestamp. Hover over date time is nice. Let's look at the max departure time. I really love, okay, so something right here. I click P and the right thing happens where departure time shows up. Departure time is highlighted. I feel like I should be able to now hit enter, and then departure time should be placed into the max function. But that's not what's happening. It comes up, but to get it, I got to click it. I got to go over to my mouse. I really wish I could just hit enter and that it would make sense. Or tab. Oh, wait, let me try tab. I wonder if they got maybe. Boom. Okay, tab. The reason I'm going to be able to put that into my muscle memory is because I will use that in cursor sometimes. So tab will finish it off. Great. As max time, we'll just run that. It's very fast, and it's very fast. That's very fast. So that's the thing I'm just really taking in right now. I may have been sleeping way too long on DuckDB. Now that is selecting that from its proprietary sort of data structure, though it's database table, which I know it's probably like always going to say do that for optimal performance. Let's read from a parquet. And where was this thing? So copy to, I'm going to see how well I might be able to. So copy, okay, copy. Okay, I'm still, okay, what does it want? When we're copying again, okay, copying from trays to, and then do the output. I'm gonna try this. Okay, so from trains to, and we'll go trains.parquet. Yeah, we already have trains parquet, so this will probably overwrite it. And did we have to read it from trains parquet as well? Is that correct? It is. Okay. There's a lot of, oh nope, those are carrots. Whoops. The autocomplete is just giving me life right now. I really am thankful for the autocomplete here. This is very, very smooth autocomplete. People were really kind of giving the huge praise to this thing when it came out, and my gosh, this is good. It's kind of just, it's been building now as I'm going through it, but yikes, this is good. About this cell, obviously I haven't gotten to anything super, super complicated here or really, really long-winded. That's when I feel like notebooks begin to break down a little bit, is when you have huge queries or huge scripts that you want to build, and you need these to have version control, and you want to build functions and bring in classes. I've found notebooks to be not the best interface for it, and I mean the cell specifically. And I don't really care for it. I like a big open, code editor. But all that being said, this feels fine and is great. I don't need to copy this again, so I will remove it. Or will I? Oh, what happened there? How did I? Let me go back. Okay, I think I must have screwed something up there a little bit. Ooh, I've got an error. Okay, syntax error near select. Oh, does it want me to, do I need to do that? I do need to do that. Okay, so the copy statement is it's a function and it needs to have the semicolon at the end. So that has to be ran first, and then essentially the process needs to end, and then you can move to the select statement. I think I get the gist of what's going on here at DuckDB, and the person who told me this in the comments during the DuckLake video was absolutely right. Anyways, I love this. I really like this. It's almost getting a little overwhelming, I'll be honest, of how many tools are doing a great job at giving people wonderful UIs, and I think in general are focusing on the most important things. See, I want to say here is like, I'm going to put more time into this, but then I also want to put some time into real. And look, that's the whole point, I guess, of this channel that I'm building here. I want to have videos where I'm getting into it and trying something for the first time, but then I want to keep taking things further. And so, yeah, I'll work on scheduling that stuff out, and we can see what more can we get from DuckDB UI specifically. What can we get from it? Given that, I hope you enjoyed me getting from 0 to 1 with this DuckDB UI. Really enjoying doing these types of videos and showing y'all some of the pain points of just getting started. And then from here, keep moving. Let's try some more tools. If there are any other tools that you think you'd like me to look at, or you've thought about wanting to see quick starts for, or you find convenient to have me work through or fumble through, then put in the comments. Let me know. Otherwise, appreciate it. I've got more links in the description. Like and subscribe to the channel, and have a great day.